Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies. Inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Midnight viewers to Father Malone's weekly Roundup. I'm Father Malone, and with me overseeing all that streaming neath a pallid bust of Pallas just beneath my chamber door is Miss Ripley Jean. Say hi to the folks, you tiny raven. Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe was born in Boston. You know, William Butler Yeats called him the Jingle Man. It was not a compliment. Salutations have been made. Let's get to that streaming. And there's not a damn thing newer than what's going on over at HBO Max or Max. Maybe they should stop leaning into brevity and call it Maximilian and use that robot from the black hole as their logo. They could have that sound his head made when it turned as their jingle. Oh, so good. I love a bit of truth in advertising. When the Treasure Island Casino was still under construction, their electronic billboard would flash the very piratey sentiment, "You're either with us or against us." Yes, that is a segue, because we're talking about plain-speaking villains this week. We've got one hell of an example with the Penguin.
Come on. You can help me out. Come on.
Life is just a dream.
You promised me, Oswald.
I
know, Ma. I deserve a better life.
I'm working on it.
The world ain't set up for the honest man to succeed. That should be the American dream right there. You know, beautiful story with a happy ending. But that ain't the way the world works. America's a hustle. Not that I'm complaining.
Penguin, you waltzing in here like you mean something. We're in the middle of a gang war.
Carmine Falcone's dead.
If we don't protect what's ours, we just look weak. The streets are talking again. They know there's only one man big enough to run this city.
Do you remember Carmine's daughter?
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sophia, I thought you was still at,
Arkham? No. I've been rehabilitated.
You're playing a dangerous game with his family, Hans. You think I want Sophia Falcone knocking on my door?
She is the hangman.
What is it you're really after, Oz?
I'm gonna tear down the empire from the inside out.
Whoever controls the drug business controls the streets. I'll be running the whole damn trade.
I got ambition. I can help you.
Hey! Feel alive, Vic, huh? Feel your heart beating?
This city is meant to be yours, sweetheart. What are you gonna do to get it?
Trust me. It's just the beginning.
I was a guest recently on the Culture Cast discussing Tim Burton's Batman Returns, and I made this point there, and I'm going to make it here too. There hasn't been a bad version of the Penguin, and there have been a lot. Just the voice actors, Stephen Root, Ted Knight, Dana Snyder, Tom Kenny, Nolan North, he's that Cockney one in the Arkham games, David Ogden Stiers, Robert fucking Morse, and of course the best of all the voiced versions of the Penguin, Mr. Paul Williams. Hands or flippers down, he's the best voice of the Penguin. But on screen, we've had Burgess Meredith. He was hard to unseat, but then Danny DeVito's grotesque fairy tale version shows up. Can't beat that, right? Well, Robin Lord Taylor does just that with his portrayal on Gotham. We got to spend more time on screen with him than any of the others, and he was a delight. A simpering, rage-filled, angular, tall, lean version of the Penguin. Oh man, I fucking loved it. I love him. Robin Lord Taylor, everybody. Which brings us to Matt Reeves, the Batman, and the minor character. A captain in the Falcone crime family, Oswald Cobb, played completely anonymously by Colin Farrell. I'm assuming most of you have seen the Batman. If not, go ahead. We'll wait. We'll just pause it here. Are you back? Great, right? This is a situation where I wish they'd never told us who it was or there was makeup involved at all. Andy Kaufman was fooling 0 people as Tony Clifton, but Colin Farrell in this makeup, with this performance, wholly unrecognizable Batman, and wholly unrecognizable. The makeup is not only just gorgeous, but it allows a performance to come through it. I don't even have to tell you. I probably will again, though. Yes, that's Colin Farrell. I thought you knew that. Yes, he's the dad in Dumbo. That's your reference? And since you've seen the movie, you'll know it ends with Carmine Falcone dead and Gotham in ruins, thanks to the Riddler's plot to flood the city. The Penguin takes place a few weeks later, and my God, the continuity. This is ruined Gotham, and it is beautiful. A couple of episodes ago, I praised The Crow, City of Angels, for lighting the nights entirely with sodium arc lamps, giving it that golden-tinged hue. They go even further here. Gotham is always aglow, night or day. It is a permanent golden hour, a dirty, gross golden hour, interrupted only by periods of rain. My Anthology's Attack co-host, Antonio Lepore, lamented the lack of umbrella as part of the Penguin's look, which I assume they'll get to. I lament it because it's always raining in Gotham. You'd think they'd hand them out on the street corners or figure out some clip-on accessory thing so everyone constantly has an umbrella with them. Anyway, there's a whole lot of turmoil in Gotham's underground now that Falcone is dead and his drug-addicted son has ascended. Also, Falcone's psychopath daughter Sophia has been released from Arkham and is reasserting herself within the organization. And there's the organization itself, which is looking to reduce Oz's contribution to the family. Now, we've only gotten the pilot here. It's called After Hours. Boy, do I love when a writer actually names the goddamn show instead of just pilot. Fuck the tradition on that one. So when I recommend this show as highly as anything I've seen this year, you'll forgive me if it goes south, but I doubt it's going to do that. Even if it does, even if this was the only episode we got, this one-shot day in a life of the Penguin, it would be worth it. In fact, basically it's structured that way. A day in the life. We follow the Penguin as he makes horrible decisions, takes on new talent, navigates his way in and amongst the various deceivers that surround him, discuss the importance of air fresheners, and in general just try and stay ahead of every other obstacle put in his way. And what fucking obstacles. First, we get Michael Zegan as Alberto Falcone. You might know him as Joel Maisel, the Mr. to the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. He's sweet and understated there. But I would encourage you to check out his turn in Terrence Winter's show Boardwalk Empire. He played a young Benny Siegel there and made real that nickname the man hated so much, Bugsy, like crazy. He is fantastic here. 3/4 of the way through the show, we're introduced to the Falcone family's biggest nemesis, Salvatore Maroni, imprisoned head of the Maroni crime family, played by Clancy Brown. Because I wasn't in love with the show enough, just throw the Kurgan into the mix. But the show's true asset, and really anything that casts her is receiving a massive gift, is Kristen Milioti as Sophia Falcone. Good Lord, is she good. As fine as any performance is on the show, they all kind of pale next to Farrell's Penguin. I didn't think they could find anyone who could steal that spotlight. And then Kristen Milioti walked off with it as soon as she appeared, and continues to do so every time she shows up. She's fucking terrifying. If you've seen that time loop extravaganza Palm Springs with Andy Samberg, and if you haven't, go watch it. We'll pause. Are you back? It was a delight, right? Okay, so now you've seen her in that. If you go to Netflix, go to 30 Rock right now. Season 5, episode 16. It's called TGS Hates Women. The fucking range on Miss Milioti. She's a wonder, and I cannot wait to see what she does throughout the season. For you comic book fans, if you were ever hoping to see Matt Reeves adapt The Long Halloween, I doubt that's going to happen. Just watch this episode, you'll know why. Oh, I keep saying Matt Reeves, and he is the executive producer and no doubt has plenty of notes and guidance, but I'd like to point out that this show is created and run, and this pilot was written by Lauren LaFranc. This is her first as a showrunner, and good God, keep up the good work. Okay, I'm now going to shut up about the Penguin, but I will be watching every Thursday, and you will be too. No, I don't think Colin Farrell's going to suddenly appear without the makeup. Fine, you're officially counted out. Okay, listen. I got to talk a little inside baseball, a little behind the curtain, behind the scenes here at the Roundup. Every week, Ripley has a pick, and just between you and me, I pick the movies for her. She's a dog. But this week, no joke, this is 100% Miss Ripley Jean's choice. I've never seen her so riveted to a piece of entertainment. Let's go, HP. It's time for Rip's Picks.
Come and listen to a dog that's hip. Here we go, it's Rip's Picks, yeah!
Have I thanked you all enough for listening to this podcast? If not, thank you. I know the importance of distraction and entertainment. A podcast that's been keeping me endlessly entertained lately is Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal Podcast. I listen nearly every day, sometimes a couple of times a day. And if there's one thing Mr. Gottfried was, it was a monster kid. Just absolutely addicted to the classic Universal monsters. And on the show, he and Frank Santopadre, his co-host, frequently wax rhapsodic about Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Count Dracula sleeps in this coffin, but rises every night at sunset. Chick is right. This is awful silly stuff.
Come on, take it all out.
No! Pick up, Chick! Cover up! What's the matter? Cover up! Wait a minute!
The nation's top comics, Abbott and Costello. Petrified, but hilariously. Plus the dangerous and terrifying Wolfman, played by Lon Chaney. Plus that fiend out of a nightmare, the vampire Batman, Count Dracula, played by Bela Lugosi. Plus the most dreaded creature of them all, the Frankenstein monster, played by Glenn Strange. Plus a couple of luscious but designing females in the spookiest laugh fest on record.
I loved that movie when I was a kid, but that is probably the last time I'd seen it. Your mileage may vary on Abbott and Costello. I put them above the Ritz Brothers, but below the Stooges. So I figured I'd put the movie on for a few minutes and reassess. And if it got too corny, I'd at least have seen the animated credit sequence with the skeletons and the monsters. So I put it on, and Lou Costello comes on screen, and Ripley is, I'll say she's interested, right? She's paying a lot of attention to Lou Costello. And his antics are pretty great. Lou Costello was a star for a reason. I hated when he did that baby talk shit, but overall he was charming and a deft physical comedian, and apparently much loved by young Ripley here. But it gets better, because she stays locked in. She's sitting beside me throughout the whole thing, and then the monsters showed up, and this mighty pug crawls all the way to the edge of the bed as close as she can get to the TV, and remains mesmerized for the rest. And yes, there was a lot of barking during the flaming finale. By the time they came to film this, Abbott and Costello, known in France as the Two Simpletons, and in Italy as Gianni and Pinotto, were already on a downward trajectory. Within a few years, they'd be banished to television and eventual obscurity, but they still had years of vitality left in them. It's just that they hated each other by now. Neither relished working with each other again, nor did they relish the product itself. Lou Costello remarked on this script, "No way I'll do that crap. My little girl could write something better than this." Nevertheless, I think this flick is a high point. It's got the recycled gags that seem to be slowly strangling their features, and it's got a lot of the same paper-thin characters as the other films, but this has monsters, man. Not just that, it's Lon Chaney Jr., and it's Bela fucking Lugosi. It's Bela Lugosi playing Dracula, and not in a jokey way. It's really like Dracula was shipped in from his film, and it has Glenn Strange as the monster. Anyone but Boris Karloff is going to be a drag, so sue me. Except Beef from Phantom of the Paradise. Now there's a Frankenstein monster. Anyway, the monsters are here, and what could be wrong with hanging out with them for 70 minutes? I realize this film has been criticized as having put the final nail, so to speak, in the Universal Monsters coffin, but they'd be revitalized in the Hammer films in just a decade or so. And lately I've been digging different flavors of the same product, like Colin Farrell as the Penguin. So why not a bumbling bunch of antics wrapped in the cerements of the grave? This one's streaming for free, and I sense I know what Rip's picks are going to be over the next few weeks. After all, this movie was a success, so Gianni and Pinotto would also face the Invisible Man, Boris Karloff, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and the Mummy. They would tangle with the creature from the Black Lagoon on their TV show, but we are not watching those. No, I don't care. Okay, it's kind of hard to wrangle a theme for this episode based on those choices. The Penguin, Abbott and Costello, Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman. And to think, Scooby-Doo met nearly everyone but Bud and Lou. They hung with the Stooges and Laurel and Hardy. They hung out with Mama Cass. Remember that? But no time for baseball jokes on the Mystery Machine, I guess. In honor of Bud and Lou's most famous routine, I'm going to present tonight's final selection. Do you have a favorite sports film? Actually, do you have a favorite baseball film? There have been some greats. The Natural, Field of Dreams, Bull Durham, For the Love of the Game. Jesus, those last three are all Kevin Costner. Everyone loves Major League. Everyone loves The Sandlot. Those are great choices, but they're the wrong choices. I don't know, would I call them bad choices? Maybe they're bad, but they're not the Bad News Bears.
There is no limit to what some men will do for money, especially a man like Morris Buttermaker.
No, I really appreciate this. It's just a damn shame that none of the fathers had the time for it. God knows if I wasn't so busy down at City Hall.
You got my check, Whitewood? Even if it meant coaching an unlikely group called the Bad News Bears. It was a team of superstars like Mike Engelberg, Rudy Stein, Reggie Tower, Ahmad Abdul-Rahim, the incomparable Ogilvy, Timmy Lupus, Kelly Leak, the Aguilar brothers. With a team like this, there is only one way you can go.
Cups and supporters. Gotta be worn at all times. Well, either you wear them, give that one. Either you wear them or you don't play.
Walter Matthau is Morris Buttermaker, a man so desperate to make a buck that he did the unforgivable. He put a girl on the team.
Boys, I'd like you to meet your new pitcher, Amanda Wurlitzer.
Jews, fixed niggers, and now a girl? Grab a bat, punk.
Tatum O'Neal is Amanda, but Amanda is no ordinary girl. And with her help, the Bad News Bears went from totally terrible to just plain bad.
Why don't you do this league a favor? You and the Bears just drop out.
Amanda knew what the Bad News Bears needed. She also knew how to get it.
If I win, you play baseball for the Bears.
And if I win?
Name it.
What if he tries something,
I know an 11-year-old girl who's already on the pill.
Don't ever say that word again.
Oh, well, if it isn't Inga Puke. How'd you like me to stick this bat where the sun never shines, Turner?
Sit on it.
But a little success is a strange thing. Once you taste it, you want more. And from just plain bad, the Bad News Bears climbed up the ladder to become the team that played baseball like it has never been played before. Academy Award winner Walter Matthau is the coach. Academy Award winner Tatum O'Neal is his secret weapon. Together, they turned the Bad News Bears into a team of superstars you will never forget. The Bad News Bears, the incredible story of how a disaster combined with a catastrophe and somehow became the greatest champs who ever played ball.
Buttermaker, Kelly Leak, Engelberg, Timmy Lupus, and Tanner fucking Boyle. Oh, and everyone's first crush, Tatum O'Neal. Everyone loved Tatum O'Neal. Hit someone in their 50s and they will squawk out her name. I was a Leather Tuscadero fan. Pinky, too. You know, this whole X generation loved to post on social media about how irresponsibly we were raised, how the 70s just seemed to be some weird freefall where clear-headed thinking was kind of out the window. Kids are always up to trouble, and I'm sure in the coming years, these current youthful generations will tell us all the horrible things they were doing that we could never conceive of. But I think if you want a clear idea of what was going on in the 70s for our generation, this is more than a fair, maybe even mild representation. The story's been told 100 times. Reluctant coach, misfit players, they all learn or relearn what it is to be a team. Yep. We'll never be free of that premise, and that's fine. Feel free to innovate on the theme, future baseball filmmakers. Just know it has been perfected, because the reluctant coach here is frequently drunk former pro ball player, now pool cleaner, in the form of Walter Matthau. This movie works like it does because of Walter Matthau. Want proof? See that awful remake with Billy Bob Thornton. Matthau is so good because you can buy the nastiness and the narcissism and the redemption. Walter Matthau is world-weary personified, and just the kind of parental substitute you want for these fuck-ups from every stripe and social strata. People bitch about people bitching about lack of representation in media. They can fuck themselves. If the 70s did one thing right, it was give us more representation on screen. This is a perfect example. Muslims and Mexicans, Jews and wasps, rich, poor, thin, fat, good, Kelly Leak. What a villain. He rides a motorbike. Watch out for him. Oh, yeah. You know what? Watch this just for tiny Jackie Earl Haley. This would make a good double feature with Watchmen, where he plays Rorschach. Oh, baby, we're going to do that. Yes, the giant blue dong is distracting. What is wrong with you? Bad News Bears, written by Bill Lancaster. That's the son of Burt Lancaster. If that's not a cool enough legacy for young Bill, he's also the writer of John Carpenter's The Thing. Ooh, that might be a good double feature. Bad News Bears, The Thing. Contrast the character dynamics. I know we just watched The Thing, and you can hear it on a previous episode. Go ahead, pause the show. We'll wait. I'm kidding. But you're right. We did just watch The Thing, though who needs a reason to rewatch? Am I right? No, you know what we should do is make a triple feature. Bad News Bears and Breaking Train. That's got William Devane replacing Matthau, and he almost pulls it off. And then let's watch them all go to Japan. Oi, Tony Curtis. What do you think, kid? You ready for all the bears, all the news, all the bad? No, they're quite good. Actually, Breaking Training has a weird, shaggy quality that I like a lot. I think, in fact, I've seen it way more than the first film. Maybe I should have recommended that. No, then all of the Tatum O'Neal fans would be up in arms. Give us Mrs. McEnroe. They'd scream and cry and hew. You cry and hew. All right, folks. Thank you again for taking some time and rounding the week up with us. We've got a new Anthologies Attack on Friday. I think we might be taking a trip to Italy. Tune in to find out. If you want to give us a hand, head over to patreon.com/Father Malone. Subscribers get episodes early and commercial-free, and we've got some Patreon-only bonus episodes cooking right now, which are going to be cool. Or if money is tight, you can do us the biggest favor and go to Apple Podcasts and just give us 5 stars. It's incredibly helpful and doesn't cost a dime. Neither does just telling a friend. They're weird like you. You should share. For Ripley Jean and myself, we'll say sayonara until next week. Gonna leave you with a line from Coach Morris Buttermaker. Now get back to the stands before I shave off half your mustache and shove it up your left nostril. I might have been more W.C. Fields than Mathau, but I'm going with it.
The audio commentary. It's a dying art form, but here at One Track Mind, I, your wonky yet affable host Ryan Luis Rodriguez, analyze film through the prism of these embryonic forms of podcasting, one audio commentary at a time. Masterpieces, crapster pieces, live action, animation, cult classics, films literally no one has ever heard of. No track is too small, and no track is too big. Join me and my guests from the entertainment world as we keep these features alive every other Tuesday. Hey, who else is going to discuss Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey one week and Citizen Kane the next? Us, that's who. Sure, you have to put up with my voice, but there's a certain give and take in this industry. That's One Track Mind, part of the Someone's Favorite Productions family and available wherever you get your podcasts.